Hello and what is up everyone, it is Hachi from the Art of Dota and ESL just concluded. Thanks for all of you who tuned in for my cast, but the patch is released immediately after the end of the tournament because we were supposed to get a patch on Thursday, but they promised that they were no longer going to patch our game in the middle of a major or just any major tournament in general. So we're getting the patch now on Sunday instead of Thursday. It is going to be 7.16 and there is quite a number of changes here, and I'm not going to be doing this patch notes analysis alone. I got my friend here, the Dirty Russian. Say hi to everyone.
Hi everyone.
And he's actually playing a game right now, so I'm just going to tell him the changes, or read him the changes, read you the changes, and we're both going to react to it. So there's going to be general changes. It says the upcoming patches will be mostly focused on balance tweaks in preparation for TI. There are a few more bi-weekly patches planned, with the primary ones scheduled around the final major and the TI qualifiers. After TI, we expect the first half of the new season to have longer periods between gameplay updates. So they're still going to be doing the bi-weekly patches for now, but they think that I think a lot of feedback from the pro players that it's a little bit too much, and they're going to tune it down after TI, which I'm fine with. So now, bounty runes.
So they're just gonna stop doing like big or like every two. They're doing the bi-weekly updates, right?
Yeah, I
But
think they're going to make it smaller because this patch doesn't
yeah.
seem like it's too big. Especially with the changes to IO, I don't know about that. I spoiled it a little bit just because I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to see what happened to IO, but he's not that nerfed, which is actually ridiculous in my opinion. But we'll see. Maybe they over buffed the other heroes that counter IO. I don't know. Because I didn't read the whole thing yet. Anyway, it seems like going up to TI, they're not going to do too many big changes. They're just going to tweak things, is what it says. So we'll see what actually happens. But first change for general changes, I think they're going to nerf it again for sure. But
Yeah.
I don't know what they're thinking. Bounty runes, team gold reduced from 40 plus 3 per minute to 40 plus 2 per minute. So they're going to just nerf it. It's still 40 at the start, but they nerf how much it scales per minute, which I think is fine. I think it was a little bit too ridiculous because at like
30 minutes. And
yeah,
you just get like
at like
yeah,
30, 20 minutes like that, yeah, you pick it up, it's literally like killing a tower. You pick one up, it's like killing a tower. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you get all four, it's like
I think that's fair.
it's just absolutely broken. Yeah, it's fair because
They still keep it true to what it is, though. You know, like the whole. And you still don't get XP from it, right?
yeah, you still don't get XP, so it's just the same. It just scales a little bit less.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm okay with that. I don't think that's gonna affect. I think that affects. People are still gonna fight for it. It just makes it less important if someone doesn't get it.
it makes it a little bit less snowbally. It's gonna piss off Elmo, the alchemist spammer, a little bit. Dude, he's ranked 33, by the way. Playing only alchemist, lich, and oracle. Anyway, getting sidetracked. For some reason, okay, they're reducing the following move speed talents. So, I don't know what the heck the deal with this is, but Bane's level 20 move speed talent is now from 75 to 65. It's going to affect Beastmaster, level 10, Bounty Hunter, Clockwork, Dark Willow, Gyrocopter, Legion Commander. It's not all by 10, so for Dark Willow they reduced it by 5, Gyro they reduced it by 5. Lesh, Life Sealer, Nature's Prophet, Night Stalker, Oracle, OD, Sand King, Shadow Demon, Shadow Fiend, Techies, and Zeus. They just all reduced it by either 5 or 10. I don't know what the heck the deal with that is, but I
Yeah,
guess it's technically a nerf to those heroes if they went for the like it's a nerf to Gyro, right? He loses 5 move speed just cause.
I mean, they did it to a lot of heroes.
They did it to a lot of heroes. So like Life Stealer goes for the move speed talent sometimes. That's gonna hurt him a little bit. OD, Shadow Fiend. I don't understand
Maybe
this.
they just.
It felt
Or
like
maybe they're just trying to push the other talents without like
yeah, they're trying to push the
You know
other
what I mean?
talent and
without buffing the other talent.
move speed is like really good. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal with that is. I have really no comment on that. It's just a straight up nerf to certain heroes. It maybe buffs their other talent. makes you want to go for the other
I'm pretty
tower.
sure they did the opposite though. Like up to this change, they kept on buffing the what's it called? So pretty sure they sat there and kept buffing move speed talents until people started picking them, and either people realized that they were OP, or I don't know. But yeah, I don't really understand the full capacity of that change. I don't think it was necessary.
Like the fact that they did it to so many heroes is just weird. Cause like, if they like did something to change move speed and then they did this, it would make sense, right? So it just like rebalances, but they didn't do anything else to move speed. That's it. Like they just nerfed the move speed. Whatever. Moving on. They also increased the base HP regen to 1.75 for the following Agi heroes, the really shit ones: AM, Arc Warden, Clinks, Drow, Nepo, Pangolier. Surprise Pangolier actually.
What was it before for them though? What was the HP regen before then? One?
Let me see.
Because I think that changes the whole thing. Because I don't know what the base HP regen was earlier.
I think it's
I feel like that
1.5.
1.5. That's not. It's these are really minor changes, which I guess is what they're, they already stated.
Where's
But-
HP regen? I can't find it.
I think Clinks. I don't know though. I've been like looking at what's his name.
Yeah, it's one. It was 1.5. It's 1.5. Yeah.
And like the dude's been playing and he's been winning every Clinks game. So I'm wondering if I think he's gonna be stronger in pubs, but I don't think it's gonna affect his
I mean,
presence.
0.25 like adds up because it also scales with strength.
I
right?
guess,
Like-
but we'll see. I think Clinks might be. I think that Clinks is definitely pickable. I don't think it'll affect Dro though.
Like it
I
could
think
be
Clinks
the
was
it could be
pickable
the difference
beforehand, though.
between like living with like 50 HP or something like that, you know?
Yeah. I think it helps Clinks more than most.
And like,
But, like, I don't think
for
it's
like
gonna
some of
help
these
Dro.
heroes like tanking creeps under a tower,
Yeah.
like it will definitely help like Pango and Troll
Hmm.
and PA.
Did Pango and Troll get the two?
Yeah, they got it
HP
too,
regenerators?
and Templar and Venge. There's all of them.
Okay.
But those are all the
So I think
heroes.
that's interesting.
So like kind of like the weakish laners. I'm surprised they gave it to Troll too, because he's not weakish. He's pretty strong, and TA. But I think
Yeah.
they're just kind
But I
of
mean, is TA getting picked a lot in pro meta games?
yeah, she
And
is.
is Troll getting picked a lot?
They both are.
Okay.
Somewhat.
So then,
Like
'cause I feel like I haven't seen her that much.
I see like AM and Arc Warden. That makes sense, right? And Clinks. and
Yeah,
Drow.
no, AM Arcworm, Clinks, I think that's necessary. But as I said, Clinks is such a strong pub hero right now that I think it's just gonna make him.
I don't know what's going
I
on.
don't think it's gonna change pub mentality much.
I mean, it's just a very minor change. The same thing with the move speed change. It doesn't really affect too much. It's just gonna be a very minor buff, just like the move speed thing is a minor nerf to some of these heroes. Anyway, moving on. Melee barracks health increased by 1,800 to 2,000, or from 1,800 to 2,000. Which actually could be significant. Like it's 200 extra health, considering how much armor it has. If you're trying to push, it's gonna make it slightly harder, or like ratting with like a Lycan or Io or something like that.
Did they nerf it or buff it in the last 2 weeks ago? Because I remember they did something that changed the Rex. Was
They
it Gold Bounty?
nerfed the gold bounty.
Okay. Did they change armor at all or regen? Because I
No.
think they also changed regen up.
They changed. I think they gave it more regen, or no, it's not the racks. They gave the shrines more regen.
Okay.
I think. Let me scroll back.
So then,
Yeah, they didn't do anything in the last patch. They just reduced the bounty in the last patch. That's it. But that's okay. That just makes it a little bit harder to push, which I'm not sure about, but it's whatever. And also, last general change was Roche attack damage upgrade over time increased significantly. Holy shit! From 2.5 per minute to 4 per minute. So now, like, you can contest Roche really easy because he's hitting hard.
so
You
his damage is going up? Is that
yeah,
what you
his
said?
damage over time is going up from
Okay.
2.5 per minute
By 4?
so to 4.
Okay.
So now his damage over time increases by 4 damage every minute, which is a significant change. So if you actually don't have a Roche tanker, like if you're like a freaking
Yeah.
Lina or something trying to tank Roche, you're gonna take too much damage now. Like if it's like if it's late game Roche,
can't take Roche.
if it's late game Roche, yeah, without lifesteal, I think it can't take Roche. If they're gonna get contested, because you're gonna just take too much damage. He already does a lot of damage. Now it's buffed like
Yeah,
pretty
not like
significantly.
if I'm playing like Weaver or something, or Lina or anyone or TA without refractions, even it's really hard to sit there and take. You take 4 hits, and that's
Yeah, this is a pretty big change. Makes Roche a lot harder to take. You can get tested a lot easier if you don't have the right hero. Like of course, like Ursa and stuff, and Huskar is still gonna be able to take it. But
yeah. I don't think it's gonna affect. Well, actually, does it? Does it affect Huskar? Because I'm curious. Because I know that at a certain point, I don't know if it'll make it or break it for Huskar. But at a certain point, at like 8 or 9 minutes, you can take Roche with Armlet without lifesteal. But like if you get bashed, you can still live. But I'm wondering if that point, what is it, 1.5 each minute extra?
yeah, 1.5 each minute extra.
I think he should still be fine because that's still like 12 damage. But you have to be like really strong on that. So
Yeah, but like late game Roche definitely is gonna change things. Like
later, like late game,
40-minute, 50-minute Roche, it's gonna be hitting hard, like ridiculously. Anyway, moving on to the item changes. Blades of Attack cost increase from 420 to 430. This is gonna make people buy phase boots even less.
Yeah,
'Cause, like-
I don't. Well,
Right now, it's being bought by like troll warlords a lot of times, gyrocopters, and like Lina mids, and sometimes they'll buy the blades before boots because they don't care about the move speed.
yeah, the moves. Yeah, and maybe that's why they nerfed. Maybe that's why they nerfed the damage.
But no, they nerfed the cost, not the damage.
Or yeah, the cost. Maybe that like if they nerf the cost and then they also
But
nerf the move speed. So maybe that's why they want to like get people to maybe get boots more.
It's just
I don't
10
know.
more gold though, so I don't know.
Total 20.
I don't know what to change.
Like if you're looking
deal
at
with is there, but bottle, they fixed bounty runes not being storable when the bottle is full.
Why would you do that though?
I don't know, but apparently that's just a bug. That's just a bug fix. It's all whatever. That's not even
So the bug, I'll tell you what the bug was because I was curious because I was examining it. It's that at 3, if you have 2, it'll fill it and you can hold it.
yeah.
But if you have 3,
if you have 3,
something
you'll
like that,
just
if you have
you'll just
3,
you'll pick it up
yeah.
like you picked it up regularly. It just won't store,
But
which
why-
it didn't used to work like
It
that.
doesn't really matter.
That was just bugged, so it doesn't matter. It does matter because you can hold on to the bounty for a little bit and then pick it up or use it later for a little bit extra gold.
Okay. Can you still do that with these bounties though? Now that they give team gold?
Yeah, it still works the same.
Okay. So
I think. I'm not sure. Whatever. This doesn't really do much. So they're gonna nerf Mango here. HP regen of Mango reduced from 0.6 to 0.5. Considering you start with free mangoes, I'm fine with any nerf to Mango. I still think it's ridiculous that you can just randomly start with 2 mangoes if you random or pick a bonus hero.
yeah, but it does make it. Are those to the first mangoes or all mangoes?
All mangoes. It's also gonna
'Cause
nerf.
if they're to all mangoes, I will still buy mangoes.
It's to all mangoes.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like-
it also like Mango is super popular right now. Like the build is like literally Stout Shield, Tango, 3 Mango. For like most
So
offlaners.
I think that mango should be nerfed. Plus they nerfed the gold. I feel that with the gold nerf, you still need to do stuff. So
Yeah. There's not many item changes actually, so just moving on. It's just very small item changes. This patch isn't
Yeah.
that big, honestly. Hand of Midas cooldown reduced by 5 seconds from 100 to 95. This item is never bought. This Hand of Midas is probably the worst item in the game. This is not going to change anything.
no.
Moving
5
on.
seconds doesn't-
Moon Shard attack speed increase from 130 to 140.
The thing with Moonshard, and I think a lot of people don't get it. Well, pros obviously get it. There's no point to get it until late game item.
I mean,
Unless,
who's
like,
gonna
unless
buy
you're
it?
like so ahead, like with damage or something,
It was
where you
bought
have, like,
once.
a bunch of kills.
I think it was bought it was bought once in one game I saw in ESL, and that was Envy, so he can throne them with a DD.
Yeah,
win.
right. And that was really late game, I'm pretty sure too.
Well, it wasn't really a late game, but
So
that was like it was still his fifth item. So
yeah, you don't get it like first or second item. Like I'm never gonna get it on any hero before anything else.
now,
I don't
what
think that's
people
gonna
don't say
change.
about Moonshard is that you gotta remember it actually gives bonus night vision. So what if you buy it against a Night Stalker, or you buy it as a Night Stalker and you just have super hacks vision? I don't know.
Why not just buy an axe though?
Yeah,
I
you could
guess
have
after
you
you
could have
buy
Ags
Axe.
and Moonshard next level. Anyway,
Maybe.
this change doesn't really do much. It's 10 extra attack speed. I mean, the item's slightly better to hold on to instead of eat, but come on. Nullifier, projectile speed reduced from 900 to 750. It's gonna make it dodgeable. So if you can see it coming, if they use it at max range, right, you can dodge it with BKB a little bit easier.
With BKB or Blink, or at least go invis before it hits you.
Yeah.
Because I think that it doesn't apply if you go invis and they don't have detection or something like that. That's how it is with other projectiles. I don't think it's a non-missable projectile, right? Like
Yeah,
PL's Phantom Lens.
Pretty sure that's how that works too. Anyway, it really doesn't do much. It's just a slight nerf to the item because it's like pretty good item. It's one of the best late game items. We're out of Atos. Recipe cost reduced from 1100 to 1000. 100 less gold fraud. Well, I guess buff the Skyrath Mage. That's the only hero that consistently buys this item.
The Rod of Ados.
Yeah.
There's Skyrath scriptures.
Skyrath scripters. Sentry Ward duration increased from 4 to 6 minutes. Now that's actually relatively significant. So 2 extra minutes for your sentries is actually pretty big.
No,
That means
that's huge.
You can use it
Like,
to like
that nerfs Weaver. Like, it nerfs Weaver. It nerfs every invis hero.
yeah, it nerfs every invis hero. You can use it to like block camps now, and it'll last for longer.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about what's it called. You don't have to worry about what's the term, like using because you use observer boards to block camps, but then you're afraid of not having good vision.
Yeah,
But now you can just do it, and or a new strat is just to block every camp with sentry
block
ward.
every camp with sentry wards. And this is like clutch because like wait, how long observers last for 8 minutes, right?
I thought it was 6.
Wait,
as well.
six,
I
six.
didn't
No,
get
never
checked
mind.
it
It's
out.
6 as well. 6 as well.
Yeah.
So now they both last for the same. So when you put a sentry and an observer at the same time, they're gonna last for the same time. So you're gonna have the sentry for the full duration of the observer. So like when you're playing against a Slark, that's gonna be huge because the sentry's not gonna randomly expire. The ward is still gonna be there.
So
They're really nerfing Invis. What is going on? They nerfed Shadow Amulet too. Cost increase of Shadow Amulet from 1300 to 1400. So Shadow Blade just costs more now. Silver Edge, the
I
recipe
feel like
cost
everyone was
is
picking
reduced.
everyone
Though.
was picking Shadowblade though. That's why, like everyone and their mother was getting Shadowblade.
I mean, yeah, Shadow Blade Lina, Shadow Blade Slark.
Like I'll have like in 5K games. I know people still buy Shadowblade regardless of how bad it is because it's Shadowblade and no one will buy detection. But like everyone was buying it, like more than yeah.
Oh,
So
I mean,
I
it's
think
whatever.
that's a
It's
worthy
fair.
number.
It's fair. It's just 100 gold. They did lower the gold before, so it's back to 1400. You remember that? So
Yeah,
Silver
I do.
Edge. Silver Edge, the recipe is reduced by 100 to even it out. So Silver Edge still costs the same. Shadow Blade's 100 more. Skull Basher, the recipe is reduced by 150 gold, which is pretty good. Because people are still not buying Basher after it's been
No,
kind of buffed.
You only get it on Slark.
You only get it on Slark,
And,
Troll, or not Troll, Ursa. And that's pretty much all I see. And Anti-Mage, but Anti-Mage is never picked.
Yeah, anti-mage get it. Yeah. So.
A big buff to Vlad's. So mana regeneration for Vlad's now increased from 0.65 to 1. This item is pretty much never bought. It's like literally bought
gonna
when you're
change
about
it.
to win the game. But it gives you more mana now, so it's sick. It's like good as like, I guess an item. Gives you almost double the mana. Which I don't think is going to make it good. But it's more viable if you're running into mana problems. I'll buy it on IO, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that does make it more viable.
Which is
I
still
don't
not.
know,
It's still
but
not good on IO. Like I'll buy it on IO if I need the armor. Cause like
I
I
mean, I
still
mean, if you're team fighting, I feel like it's not too bad. You don't need the hood
no. I still rather
because
just
I feel
have.
like
You can spend the no. Cause I ran into mana problems in my recent game, and I would buy a Blast now because okay, I get a little bit less lifesteal, but I get some armor, HP regen, and mana regen. But it's still better to just buy the mask into Satanic. If you're that rich, but you're not always that rich, right? So sometimes you
yeah.
just buy a Blast.
Or you throw mid game on IO because it's so easy that you have nothing else to do but to entertain yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they didn't nerf IO. Like, this is pretty good because we'll get to the changes. Anyway, they're buffing Alk again, so I guess they're not pissing off Elmo, the Alk spammer. The Grievel's Greed now gives 3.5 times. So they nerfed the bounty increase per minute, but then they're buffing Grievel's Greed. And I'm sure if you do the math, Alchemist will still benefit for the long run.
I mean, point 0.5 is a lot different than the. He benefits more, a lot more late game or early game. Like, where is he most impacted? I gotta
No,
think
it's
about
just
that.
overall. I think overall. Overall, he'll just always get more because it's literally a 0.5, 3.3 to
Over.
3.5. And what the gold change was only 1 gold per minute.
Yeah. No, so then because it already hits like if it was like 2 or something, like if the bounty. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I just had to think that one through for a second. So yeah, no, that buffs him. But is that the only change they did to him?
That's all. It's just small changes. Like there's actually no big changes. All the heroes are only getting like 1 or 2 changes.
How about Weaver, man? I want to hear Weaver
We'll,
changes.
we'll get to there, but we'll start to the next hero. Anti-mage. His BAT. Oh no, what is this? Base attack rate. That's not BAT,
What's it? What's a thing?
right? Well, it went from 0.4 or 1.45 to 1.4.
Is
But
that
that's not
enough?
base attack time, right? That's just
BAT is base attack time.
no. It says base attack rate,
Oh, base attack rate.
which is BAT, right? That's what they
I
mean.
think that
I think they just
theoretically.
I think they just mean BAT. That's BAT. It is BAT. They just use a different term. It's just strange.
Yeah,
But okay,
that's
so
odd.
he has the same BAT as Jug now, which is whatever. I guess slight AM buff. They give Arc
Is it
Warden.
makes him stronger early game? I guess.
Yeah, it just gives him more lane control, and of course it scales later on too with attack speed.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good for AM. It's not the biggest change in the world. It's only 0.05 basic attack time.
Yeah.
But,
I
yeah.
don't think that's gonna change him getting picked.
But
We'll
like
have to see.
that's what you get with Alchemist's Chemical Rage. So it's like AM just skilled 1 point in Chemical Rage.
Okay.
I guess. Anyway, Arc Warden base damage increased by 2. Helps him with last hitting. He has pretty low base damage. Magnetic Field mana cost also they've like buffed this spell for like the last 3 patches. Literally, I'm looking at it right now. So they increased the AOE in 7.12, and then they reduced the cooldown in 7.14, and now in this patch they reduced the mana cost. The early game mana cost only. Level 4 is still the same. So they're just slowly buffing Arc Warden, and they're buffing like his most underutilized spell.
Was he picked even once during the major?
No. Zero's is bad.
How many times was he picked during major? 0?
I don't think he was definitely not picked once unless like OG picked him or something or Liquid.
I don't remember them picking him. So.
This hero's not good. AM is not good. Alchemist is not good, but they're buffed. They're gonna be more viable in pubs.
Yeah.
Bane enfeeble duration reduced from 14 seconds level 1 to 8 seconds level 1. This was
What
too
was reduced level 1? You cut out.
enfeeble, so it's for his
Enfeeble.
first spell.
I think that makes it viable to pick it up level 1 in lane though. Like I feel like this patch I have not picked it up a single time.
What do you
level
mean?
1.
They nerfed it though. You do put it level. You don't put it level 1. You put it level 2. Sometimes you put it level 1. and then sometimes you put
I
2
go
points
brain
in it.
sap, man. I'm a brain sap
Yeah,
type of
I
player.
always put brain sap, but this just
You never get nightmare level 1?
unless no, I only got it when people were like cutting the wave and you could stop them, but I don't do it.
Okay. Okay. Well, then, yeah. So, I'm
They
looking
just
at
they
it.
just nerf and feeble. Well, this is cancerous. Like if you do this, it literally just auto wins you the lane in this patch.
I
With
forget, does
like
it
a
fuel
dual lane.
stack, dude? I don't even remember.
No, it does not.
Doesn't? Okay, so. But you
But
can put it on more than one person now, right? Because before it was 14, and then the duration was 14? And now cooldown is 8, you said?
no, the duration has been
Oh.
just reduced. The
Oh.
cooldown is the same. So they just nerfed
So
it.
they nerfed it.
Yeah, they nerfed it. It's 8 seconds duration at level 1. Before it was 14.
Oh, okay.
So it was just a straight nerf, which I'm fine with. This ability is cancerous, but it's still the same. It's still the same at level 4.
I have it up now, so I'm looking at it.
So, okay.
Okay.
Moving on to Bloodseeker. The level 10 talent increased from 4 armor to 8 armor, which is pretty good for him because kind of squishy hero. Level 20 talent increased from 14% rupture damage to 18%.
I think I go for rupture damage. Like, I feel like before, whenever I'd, like, meme with Bloodseeker and just pick him because, you know, I didn't want to support or something, I would go lifesteal.
Like
But
I
feel like
actually
for
think these changes is like really good.
for Bloodseeker.
I think
still wouldn't pick him,
Bloodseeker.
though.
I still think Bloodseeker is too vulnerable in lane. But if you can see a good game to pick him, like I've won a couple of games with like Bloodseeker spammers, because like my other teammate picks like Venomancer or some shit, and he just like goes in when everyone's low HP and kills everyone. But we also had an IO, so it's imbalanced. Like I think this IO is so OP. You can play him with shitty heroes like Alchemist, AM, and Bloodseeker. It doesn't matter. And Arc Warden. I've won like Arc Warden games with my IO too, like easily. But like, I think that doesn't
I don't
count.
think that changes to whether or not you want to pick him or not.
Yeah, I think he's still not that good. Anyway, Bristleback, level 25 talent increase from 20 Warpath damage per stack to 30. This hero is also trash garbage can. And,
Yeah,
I mean, this makes him scale better, I guess, but that still doesn't...
Warpath damage. Hold up. So I'm trying to go back. I'm looking. What the heck?
That does damage per time he casts a spell.
But oh, plus sorry. Okay.
So he can get
So-
9 stacks, so it's 30 times 9. Or 60
30
times
times
9. 60 times 9.
Yeah, 60. So it's 540.
But it's really hard to get
But I
9.
mean, like,
You
yeah.
can't get 9 unless you have an Axe. You can't get 9 unless you have an Axe or you're like next to your creep wave that you can constantly spit on. Because you can't do it from just
It
your
helps
W alone.
Scale is a hard carry for Bristleback more.
You can't get to 9 with just your quills alone, I'm pretty sure. Like I don't play Bristleback, but I'm pretty sure you can't get to 9. You have to use your snot as well. So you
Yeah.
either have to be like
Um,
attacking someone actively, or like there's a creep nearby. You can't just keep it at 9. Unless you have an Axe. In that case, you can cast your Q without a target.
You can have it at like 5 or 6, and then with the talent, I think you can get it to 7, right?
Yeah. What is it?
No, not even. Maybe Octarine, but yeah, it's 6, and then that's I know that off a quill spray it's 6,
Yeah.
something like that, and then with nasal goo though.
I mean, the hero's still not good. Cause the thing is, he's an offlaner, and he doesn't initiate. And there's better heroes that does what he does. That
I think he's a good solo safe laner in pubs, but I don't think that he's good in pro meta, nor.
and he
for,
also
like,
is
what it
countered
right
to
now.
by too many things. Like what happens if they pick Viper? You just suck.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to Broodmother. Spawn Spiralling is gonna get buffed, and also Broodmother is garbage. Cause like
I don't think that it's like these changes are so minimal that it does not.
this does not change the patch. Like you're afraid to change it.
Yeah.
Like they don't
I
want
mean, they
teams
buffed
to.
Clinks. I don't mean to go up ahead, but why are they buffing Clinks? Anyway, but so 250 to 280 on spawn.
250, 280. This is gonna make it so they don't die to certain nukes. That's pretty much it. I can't tell you exactly. I'm not a brood spammer, but
Like what nukes would keep him from dying from. I do agree that they died too fast though. I'll give you that.
Like they all like
But I
remember
just think
the
that
7.14 change. I'm still I haven't. 'Cause I don't know what my broodmother friend quit Dota, so I can't discuss it. But like, so I don't know what that did. But what it in the patch was they like made the spiders super squishy, but they also made them give no gold pretty much compared to before. So
but that's the thing though. Then you can't push towers, and I feel like the whole point of picking brood is that you can push towers, and if your spiders die, you can't push
yeah,
towers.
you don't want to lose your spider army. Like you don't want to even if they die and they don't give gold, you still don't want to lose them because you lose so much farming speed if you lose your full army of spiders. That's the whole point of the hero. She farms really fast, but she has a ton of spiders.
I'd rather give up gold than lose spiders.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure that the enemy team benefits from having the gold from the spiders, and like how like a good broodmother player, right, is not going to have their spiderlings die if they give up a lot of gold. Like they were easier to kill earlier, right? Or no, it's the other way. They're harder to kill, but they gave more gold. I feel like that's more important because then you have that risk thing, and that's what made broodmother so good is that you could micro your spiderlings. Like you could have different groups, so that way when one got low, you can just have them back regen, send in another one. But in this case, it's just.
And also, like, what this change does is the spiders have 0 armor. So when you summon, like, the initial spider, like, a level 1 spider, before, they're, like, tanky enough that you could, like, hide them and, like, at least get, like, a small army. But now, like, if you're, like, a high damage hero, like, Void or, like, something like that, you actually can lane against Brood 1v1. Because you can just attack her spiderling and you can kill it in, like, 2 hits, I think.
I think it's 3. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Overall.
Yeah, it's 3 hits, 3 hits.
Would this make it 4 though? That's the question. I guess there are some certain heroes, but
well, it's 280.
I would have made it 300. I think I think you could make that more.
It's 280, and with Quelling Blade, they're hitting for like 100, right? About 100. So, I don't know, whatever.
Centaur.
I think they should have made it a little more, but anyway, I don't want Brute to be over buffed either and have unkillable spiders.
I don't care.
Centaur Warrunner base damage increased by 4. His base damage his damage is already kind of high, right? Like,
I think you know what I would do now. I would do CWIO dual lane. I think that's strong. I think that with these changes, there's still dual lanes capable, and I think that's what they want to keep. They want to keep the 2-1-2.
yeah, the IO dual lane Centaur, because that's easy to understand. You know, I think they want the 2-1-2 for this TI because it's easy to understand. You don't have people roaming everywhere, and when they do roam, it's more impactful, right? It's just not constantly like there's just a guy playing off the map, and it's hard for like you're not gonna replicate that in your pub, right? So when you see 2-1-2 in a pro game, at least that's understandable for like someone who's like only played
2K,
Dota for like for 2K. Like in 2K, no one is gonna play like a roaming only like you're just off the map constantly on like a Tusk or something. Like that's not gonna happen. This doesn't make as much sense. Anyway, Hoof Stomp mana cost reduced. There's a pretty good buff there as well. To shitty stun ability.
That helps early game. They're just trying to make him because Centaur Warrunner is a good enough late game offlaner. They're addressing the problem. I don't know if they're addressing it properly, but they're definitely addressing the problem in the fact that he sucks during the early game. But he sucks during the early game because of his survivability, not because of his damage. The Hoof Stomp's definitely like. Does that 15 mana? How much does this dude have mana pool?
I mean, he has like nothing. It's like 200, dude.
So I guess the 15 level 1, if he were to get a mango, he could use it like 3 times.
Yeah, he can use it 3 times with only 1 mango. Something like that.
Let's see, 115 mana. I gotta pull up his.
I don't know do the math, but he has like 250 mana pool or something. I think I just saw
255. So 115 plus 1. Oh, okay. So they just want him to use Hoof Stomp twice in lane before running out of mana. Because if he were to use it twice beforehand, he wouldn't be able to because he didn't have the max mana.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, that's fine. I think that helps him a little in the early game.
I'm fine with Centaur.
It's enough, but
it's just
dual lane for sure. I would definitely
dual lane Centaur. I can see it.
But oh man, is he even a good like late game hero though? I feel like before he was so strong, you could pick him. He won the early game, and that's what made him good. I mean, there are better heroes that do his job.
Well, it's because his stun is like easily BKBable. Right? It's like
It
so.
takes forever to
It's such a
drop,
long
too.
animation.
Yeah.
Anyway, CK base intelligence increased by 2. Nice. Whatever, he gets more. I'm assuming that gives him like 1 extra spell cast or something like that. If he's with the IO, this doesn't even matter. If he's alone,
He's a
okay.
hero that needs to be buffed, but
Well, CK is like, I feel like he's too weak in the early game, and then he's also, right now,
too strong
compared
in the
to,
late game, or
and then he can never get to the late game, because he also can't farm.
Yeah, he loses. Regardless of how well you do in lane, like you can win the lane, but you lose the game scenario. That's how Viper was for a long time.
You might win the lane, but then you just can't farm, and then you like lose one
You
fight,
don't farm fast enough.
and your ultimate is like so important.
Yeah.
And if like some hero can like get rid of your ultimate somehow, like Medusa with Ags or whatever, it is useless, and you gotta hope your team carries you. So we picked CK in the Battle Cup yesterday, and they had Medusa with Axe, and he was just a stunner. He wasn't even a carry. I had to carry with Jakiro support 5 position, but at least it worked. Now,
I wonder if you can. Do they need to buff his illusions then and make them not killable by Medusa? Like, does that just?
Oh, I think that would be too strong. At least I had to some way to counter him. You know? His illusions are super strong already. It's just when they're killed, he's just bad. Anyway, Klink's intelligence increased from 16 plus 1.55 per level to 18 plus 1.7. This is huge because he's really reliant on int. Like
especially during the early game. So
yeah, early
+2.
game. +2 int and then also more int gain per level. And strafe dodge no longer has a count limit, so you can infinitely dodge while strafing. I mean, it doesn't last for that long; it only lasts for 3.5 seconds. But literally,
is there a chance percentage or?
No, it's 100%. So you dodge.
100%.
So if you man up against any other range hero while strafe, you're just invincible.
What's it for melee heroes?
It's not for melee heroes because you can only dodge projectiles.
Oh, yeah,
So-
I can dodge range. Wait, attacks or spells?
Yeah.
So it's a BKB too.
Well, not a BKB. 'cause
Projectile spells.
Projectile
It's a BKB
spells.
towards
Yeah,
projectile
or
spells.
it's more like a Lincoln's, but yeah.
Yeah. Lincolns. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, so he has a Lincoln's for 3.5 seconds.
An infinite Lincolns, infinite
I'm
blocks.
definitely playing him in pubs though. You get Soul Ring, and you're good to go.
I feel like that's so
you even
stupid.
You definitely still need Soul Ring.
So for example, like you clinks and you go up against a sniper, he just doesn't do damage to you for 3.5 seconds.
What lane do you play him in though? Solo safe? Off lane? Solo off lane?
I don't know. I feel like there
I'll
might be
see
some
on this
there might be some meme clinks mid meme. I don't know, dude. You just max strafe or some shit and you just trade with the other range hero and they cannot do shit.
Alright, let's see where he's playing. He's playing safe lane clinks. Let's see if this
Yeah.
is a. Here we go.
I think they might have just invented a new mid clinks meme.
No, mid clinks is a thing, dude. I mean, depending on the heroes. It's definitely. He's playing it. What the fuck? Looks like he's playing it in safe lane and off lane. So it's 2-1-2 this or something. But yeah, no, it works.
Alright.
He's winning a lot.
Moving on to Clockwork. Power cogs, mana cost increase to 80 at all levels. So, I mean, this hero's they're just slightly nerfing him. He was like picked a lot and they're just like, okay, we're gonna nerf you, mana cost.
It makes it harder for him to roam.
It just means that he has to buy more clarities. And that's pretty much it.
But a good clock is still gonna. They're not gonna care about.
Yeah,
this
it just doesn't do anything. Just buy more clarities, you just be prepared, and you're fine. Crystal Maiden, base damage increased by 2. Wow. And Arcane Aura self-mana regen increased by 0.3, 0.2, then it just scales to be the same. So it's only better at like the
Jungle
early.
CM, dude.
It's better at the early
Jungle
levels.
CM. They're pushing jungle CM here. That's what they're doing.
What? I mean, it's nice. Nice buff. I think this makes her like a lot stronger in the early game, and that's where her,
I was gonna say, could you put her? Cause like she's a safe lane support. I'm curious if they're trying to, from what it looks like, I feel like they're trying to like make some supports and off lane supports. Like that change with Bane, right? And then that, I mean, Bane was usually an off lane support, but maybe that's why they nerfed him, because like they're trying to make other off lane supports viable. Like they want the 2-on-2, so they're structuring their patch in that sense. And like CM, she's super weak, but having the base damage by 2 and the arcane self regen means she can farm the medium camp off of the off lane,
like this is
while
actually
still being present in the off lane as an
it's actually
ice.
pretty good. Cause like with this mana regen, it means that it's like a little bit. Cause like look at clarity, right? So how much mana regen does clarity give you? 3 mana regen.
Oh, let's
So it adds up to like half a clarity now. A little bit more than half a clarity just from level 1 arcane aura.
Clarity gives you 3 mana regen for
Yeah.
50 seconds.
Is half a clarity for level 1, which is not bad. And you combine it with a clarity. I mean, it's very minor still, but like you're gonna have more mana to use pretty much. It's like 1 extra spell. It'll add up to like 1 extra spell, which can be a game changer.
It could help you farm that jungle creep that gets you enough XP to win the offlane. Like if you use Frostbite on a jungle creep, it's gonna kill it with the blood base 2 damage. Again, it's not a lot, but CM wasn't a like. I think CM's not a good pro Dota hero, but a good pub hero, and it's a pretty easy hero too.
I mean, Secret was
Play.
picking CM,
So-
so she's actually a good 4. I mean, I think this makes CM a little bit even more viable, but again, it's not a biggest change. Like all these changes are like nothing. Anyway, just moving on to Dark Willow. Bedlam cooldown reduced.
We're back to this again.
They just buff. They over nerfed her, so it's just back. What is going on, dude? So they over buff or they over nerf Dark Willow, and I'll just buff Bedlam again. Might as well.
No, I mean this makes her a viable farm. I mean it makes her a stronger 4 and a good 3.
Yeah, because
'Cause now she can
level 1
flash farm.
Bedlam like sucked. Like it was, they made it garbage. Before it was like
It was
OP.
20. It was 20 seconds before. I don't know if they nerfed damage. I'm gonna go look back at the patch notes.
Yeah, they nerfed the damage too.
GG. Um, where is she?
I don't think they nerfed the damage at level
Dark
1. They
Willow.
just made it higher cooldown.
The duration. I know they changed the duration. Where do you see previous patch notes?
They made it
Are they,
last.
like-
They made it last longer, but they made it do less damage, something like that. You can scale over the building. You can see it.
Ah, there we go. Oh yeah. So 7.12, the cooldown went from 40-30-20 to 40-35-30. No, it's not. They don't even have it. So I guess it was a while ago when they changed it. But
Yeah.
7.14, they did damage reduction, but it wasn't a level 1. It was the level 2s and 3.
But then they already reduced it before that. I'm pretty sure. Well, whatever. I didn't play Dark Willow too much, but we didn't. We haven't seen her a lot. But that's because she doesn't fit 2-on-2 that well.
No, she needs the XP. She's a very greedy 4, a very greedy 3.
Like she'd rather roam and then get kills and stuff. She doesn't want to just sit in lane like and
She
help
needs
out. She needs 6. She's even more suited to just be like off laner, like the core. But even then, like she falls off really hard
Yeah.
to be just by people buying BKB, and because in this patch everyone is rushing BKB, Dark Willow is like trash. Anyway, Dazzle strength gain increased.
That's not much. Again, they're very minor changes.
Poison
What's
touch
this?
count
I forget what
rescaled.
the count does.
It's when you like use it, it like bounces, so it has more bounces. Wait, it has
Oh.
only 2 bounces at level 1, but it has more bounces when you max it.
I mean, that's a thing though. It's like, I guess then would that make sense for you to level it earlier on? Because do you max poison touch?
Wait, maybe this is so when you have level 1 poison touch, it doesn't bounce on the creep wave and then push the whole wave.
Oh, that's actually some next level thinking. I was thinking either way, right? Like the poison touch, there's not going to be more than 2 people in a lane most times. And again, if we're looking at this from the 2-on-2 perspective, odds are there's going to be 2 people.
Yeah, but like
So
you'll hit like the creeps with it. That's what happens when you use poison
yeah.
touch on someone and they're inside the creep wave. It'll just like push it.
Does it prioritize heroes? No.
No, it just bounces at any target. And then
I think he's a good 2-on-2 hero.
I mean, you should be. It's freaking Dazzle. It's just people haven't picked him because the meta is more magic damage. So his ultimate, like his main value is his ultimate. Is like Grave is like whatever. It's like a mediocre spell. You save someone, but like unless it's the Terror Blade, who cares? They'll probably die anyway unless they have some escape ability.
LC, you could do LC Dazzle like dual lane.
Yeah,
That's
why you don't see Axe
That's
Dazzle. You
good.
see Skywrath Dazzle because you'd rather just have more damage than healing.
Yeah.
And IO is just better Dazzle. If you want healing, just pick IO. And if IO is banned, okay, you don't need Dazzle. You just don't need it. Just pick if you want healing, just pick Witch Doctor. He gets healing and he can kill people.
Yeah, by himself without. Yeah.
You might see. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I do think though that's what they're doing. They're just rescaling these heroes to make them better dual offlane. So they're definitely going for the 2-on-2. So that pattern, maybe I'm just like fitting it towards my criteria, but and we'll see as we keep going down the list. But that's what it is.
Death Prophet base move speed reduced by 5, whatever.
Death
Spirit
Prophet.
Siphon mana cost increased to 70 at all levels.
DP is not even a good hero though, man. No one picks. Do they pick DP? Do they pick? You were casting the major. Did they pick?
Yeah, she's the
DP?
top mid picker right now.
Oh, never mind. Lol. I don't see him in pubs, man. I never see
Yeah,
this
because
hero
you
in
cannot
pubs.
play her in pubs because it requires team coordination. She's trash without team coordination.
I don't think this changes anything though. Well, unless they buffed another mid down the line, I think people will still.
And they nerf her level
because
10 talent a little bit.
Because she still goes phase boots Yules, right? I'm
Yeah,
assuming
she
they
still
get-
does the
people
same
get-
stuff. This doesn't do it. They barely did anything to DP. Just made her slightly worse. So
Yeah, so there's no issue with that.
Thunderstrike
And then
cooldown
what, the 70 mana
increase.
cost, so maybe you need a clarity in lane. You're spending
Yeah.
like 50 more gold. You still get clarities on her anyway. And
Yeah, and fairy or not fairy fire. What is it called? It's raindrops. Raindrops.
Oh yeah. I'm
Whatever.
looking at her mana. It's 390 mana, but she gets nulls too. Like
Yeah, she gets 2
on
nulls,
Death
so
Prophet,
this really
so-
didn't do much. And you level up Spirit Siphon quickly anyway. So like,
I think
before you
that's the
level
thing,
it
though,
up,
nerf Spirit Siphon in that
It
case
nerfs
because
it.
you lose mana
'Cause
on
you
Spirit.
lose more
Like
mana.
it goes down. Yeah, like it goes down. So now you lose mana the same.
and
regardless,
keep in
but
mind
still, I
you're
don't-
using multiple Spirit Siphons, right? Because you have multiple charges. That's why the mana cost went down, because when you level it up, you get multiple charges. So yeah, eventually it will affect her. Like she'll run out of mana, and you might run out of mana. You don't have mana for Spirit Siphon, right? You might have 50 mana instead of 70, and then you can't save yourself.
Or you can't use Exorcism and Spirit Siphon. You have to choose
Yeah.
between the two.
So it's an okay nerf. It's not major, and I don't think like if they feel like they over nerf her, she just becomes useless in pubs. And maybe she'll still be picked in pro games. But I don't know. I think she's pickable. She's really bad in pubs. You can't fucking convince your teammates to do anything, and then you're just a shitty hero. In like high level pubs, and like my MMR, it's fine. But people still don't pick her because all Peruvians play mid. They're not gonna play DP. They're gonna pick freaking Lena.
Yeah, they pick Lena and Volker SF, man.
Anyway, Disruptor, Thunderstrike cooldown increased. This was the highest damage nuke in the game at level 1 until Morphling got his Adaptive Strike changed. You know Morphling's Adaptive Strike does like 100 something damage if he has full agi? Before Thunderstrike did the most damage. Because it did 40 damage 4 times. So it did...
I think it makes it easier for people, support primarily. You're gonna hate me for saying this again.
What?
Disruptor usually wins 2-on-2s. Because he can push out the support
What?
with Thunderstrike.
He doesn't
Or, like,
win it,
on
but
through.
he does a lot of damage. It's annoying.
Exactly.
Because, like, for example, if I'm IO dual lane against a Disruptor, he keeps casting Thunderstrike on me, it makes me have to buy more regen. Because it actually does a lot of damage.
Yeah. So maybe that just makes it easier to lane against him.
I mean, he's just makes it makes his laning stage even weaker. He's already pretty weak. This makes it so that there's literally a extra 3 second window where he's not contributing anything because he doesn't have Thunderstrike. That's pretty much it. They're gonna nerf Infernal Blade for Doom.
Do you put 1 level in Thunderstrike or do you max Thunderstrike?
You put 1 level. It's just 1 level. That's why this is a pretty. It just yeah.
So it is a pretty useful nerf because in the case of if you're not going to,
Yeah, you might not have
actually,
it to break, like to get vision or something in like a fight because you just use that on someone else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Infernal Blade base damage reduced, so it doesn't scale anymore.
That's how. I mean, you don't. Do you level an Infernal Blade now? I mean, the base damage is not bad.
You
it helps
max
jungle
it.
a little though. That's the thing though. Like
What are you talking about? You max Infernal Blade.
Yeah, that's what I'm
so
saying.
So this is a big nerf.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why it wasn't. I realized it wasn't worth leveling Devour at all times because if you wanted to jungle, you get extra damage from Infernal Blade plus that whatever else it gives you.
You max Infernal Blade and Scorched Earth is also nerf. This is actually a pretty decent nerf to Doom's laning stage because it was just obnoxious. He would just go to your lane and because, like, what are you gonna do? Like he just hits you with Infernal Blade and the cooldown is literally 8 seconds when he's level 5.
Pick PL, dude.
This doesn't matter. How do you pick PL? You want to see my last game? Doom still shat on PL. It didn't make a difference. Or it wasn't my last game. It was my Battle Cup game.
Does the movement speed do that much though? The 11 to 4. I don't think that. I mean, again, I know they're smaller nerfs. But...
It does because he leaves it at level 1. So this actually just full on nerfs his build, which is max Infernal Blade, and then max Scorched Earth next. But like at level 5, he'll have 1, 1, 3, right? So he'll just be strictly worse with that build at level 5. He'll just do less damage. He'll have less move speed. But it doesn't matter. If he has an IO, it's still OP.
You do 15 less damage though.
Yeah.
Or does it?
It's DPS.
Guess how much?
It's damage per second, dude.
Hang on. I gotta do that. Base burn damage.
It's
so
damage
15,
per second. 4 seconds.
60 less damage. 60 less damage.
Yeah, which is a lot. Decent. It's a decent nerf.
But then it also burns.
Yeah, it burns for percentage, but that wasn't changed.
That stays the same. That's not changed.
But anyway, Elder Titan. Not Elder Titan. Dragon.
Dude, you just skipped. Yeah, I was gonna say. Where did you go?
Why did it even say Elder Titan? Oh, I said I've read Elder Dragon form.
Dragon.
All right, Dragon Knight base movement speed reduced to 280. It's gonna make him a little bit more gankable because he's already kind of hard. He's hard to gank because he's like so tanky. But when you shit on his move speed, like Viper, right, it makes him more vulnerable. It's only by 5, but like it won't matter. Elder Dragon form bonus move speed increase though to account for that.
It just makes him weaker while he's not in Elder Dragon form, and I think that's fair. So it's not a big change, but still.
Drow Ranger base damage increased by 4.
I don't know if people are going to be picking. See, no, I think Drow Ranger is actually going to be a good hero now. If you pick her at the right time, so like think about it this way, right? Io Weaver, like 2 ranged heroes in the off lane, and then you pick Drow. So that way, I mean, it kind of sucks if you have to sacrifice Drow's lane, but you're guaranteed 1 win, like 1-1 lane. And if the other team's doing 2-1-2, then they.
And the problem with Drow is she has nowhere to go if she has a shit lane. There's nowhere to go. You can't jungle with her efficiently. You just have nowhere to go. You can't play.
That's why you pick a hero. That's why you pick a hero that only needs to get to level 3, so then Io can rotate. And I'm using Io like it could be another support. I mean, that's why you get an off lane that shits on lane.
Really good with Io if you are just crapping on people, but it's whatever. I don't think she's I don't think she's that bad, honestly. I think it's still viable. I'm surprised why people are not picking Drow Visage, but the problem is like Drow Visage, your draft becomes really weak if you don't snowball.
Yeah. And usually when you pick Drow, it's like you don't have a disable. You have most of the time you have until like super late game, you don't have solo kill potential.
Like, if you pick this glass cannon hero, right, might as well pick Lina, right? Like, if you want this glass cannon hero, you might as well pick Lina. And sure, Drow buffs everyone else, but it doesn't. Like, it could be viable if you go full on Drow strat. We'll
I
see.
gotta think of heroes that would benefit from Dro that aren't squishy. For some reason right now it's really hard. So I need to go look at all the heroes.
Earthshaker, base armor increased by 1, or whatever. I mean, it makes him better. Like, so what does he have now? 2.9 armor.
This is what I would do. You get Clinks and Dro, and then maybe like Io, and then you need like a tanky ranged hero.
Well, you don't need all range.
Who's a tanky ranged hero mid?
Dragon Knight.
I was thinking Dragon Knight, yeah, right? That's not agility, because you don't want too much agility, right? Right, I get like an Ogre Magi, somewhere, well, a good like 5, that's tanky too. And then you're set.
I mean,
Or just put Clinks mid, I think that's fine.
but all this
But now
change,
that Sentry's
all
last
this
6
change
minutes.
does to Drow is it literally made her easier to like. It just lasts it a little bit easier. It just gives her 4 damage. Like, you bought 2 fairy fires.
But that's important. No, that's really important, because like the first 6 minutes is the toughest time for you to last hit as a
because
Drow.
her last hitting
it's
is crap.
impossible.
Her animation is like super long. But yeah, they gave Earthshaker more armor, so you can like trade. So what did they do to Night Stalker? I'm assuming. All right, so let's do their theory on what they did to Night Stalker. I'm pretty sure they just nerfed his armor and they nerfed his damage of Void. That's what slightly. Okay.
Void no longer applies a mini stun during the day.
What?
So
No, don't spoil it,
useless.
dude. We're gonna.
Oh, I thought we were going to Night Stalker. You said we're going to
Alright,
Night
or
Stalker.
just go. Alright, let's go get past these meaningless changes. Who cares? Like, okay, Enchantress base strength increased by 1. Wow, so tanky. Nature's Attendance mana cost reduced to 110 at level 1. Because Enchantress is a garbage can hero, by the way. He's trash. I had in my challenge, in my Caven challenge, to try to play Enchantress. Literally lost every single game. Couldn't do shit. That's not gonna make it a difference.
Play Turbo, dude.
Enigma. Demonic conversion, Eidolon bounties reduced. So you don't feed everyone gold. They should reduce the experience as well. But whatever. They actually
Is
give
Enigma picked anymore, man?
VGJ Storm picked it. And that's
Okay.
it. But
So besides that, though, I think.
and they also got dumpstered when they picked it against LGD, so
But again, I mean, they did the same thing to the Spiderlings as they're doing now to the conversions, and I think it's just making it easier for people who suck at Enigma and Brood and these heroes that have all these like bounties and their illusions or whatever. It's making it easier for them to play the heroes because they're not feeding so
and
much
they're just
away.
slightly nerfing Gyro. They already nerfed his move speed talent. They're nerfing his damage talent, and they're nerfing the damage of call down by 50 damage at level 1. But it's gonna stay the same at level 3, so making Gyro's early game a bit weaker. So not even a major change to the Gyro, which is like one of the top carry picks. Yeah, definitely one of the top carry picks right now. Okay, buffs the Huskar, right? Life break increased from 34%, 38%.
Let's see if this is an actual
What?
change or
They
not.
only buffed it at level 2 and 3, and it's only by 1% and 2%? Okay, whatever. What? Inner Vitality mana cost reduced? That's actually pretty good. And Inner Vitality base regen increased. So minorly making his
They've
ultimate.
made his early game stronger.
Well, because people
I don't
didn't
know
even
about the life break.
people didn't even skill his ult, right? You would just leave it at level 1.
I think I mean, I leveled it up. I'm not the most amazing Huskar
No,
player.
the
but
average, the
I leveled it
standard,
up for
the
the
standard,
cast rank.
the standard Huskar build is you just leave it level 1. What? What are you talking about? Cast range?
I don't know
Cast
why I
range
said
doesn't
cast
change.
range. I thought, okay, no. He has a talent for that. That's what I was thinking about.
It just makes it do more
Yeah.
damage, and it makes it do more damage to yourself, which sucks. So that's why people didn't level it up. But anyway, It's whatever.
I'm doing some math here.
It's whatever. It's a buff. It's a buff. I don't know what it does. Invoke mana costs removed without aghanims, right? Before it was removed when you had aghanims.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now it's always removed.
I thought it was removed already, though.
No, it costs 40 mana. I don't know. I'm literally not an
Why is
Invoker
it
player.
Yeah, no. So invoke mana cost was reduced from 60 to 47.14, and now invoke mana cost is removed.
Oh, I'm
And
thinking
this
about...
is actually a huge buff
Because now you can switch spells without
Because-
costing mana.
because you can just cast as much as you need. And like the whole problem of casting invoke was the fact that if I cast invoke, I'm gonna lose all my mana I needed to use on my spells. So it makes him.
No, oh wait, no. What
It's
it
a
like?
lot
If you
more
mess up
useful
your
for
spell
me.
cast, you can re-invoke other stuff without wasting all your mana for no reason.
Yeah.
So like, if you like misinvoke, like, Ice Wall for some reason, you can go switch it to.
Cooldown is still gonna be a while.
Yeah.
Right? But
Well, no, it's still 6 seconds only. They changed it. It's been a long time since the cooldown's forever. It's always 6 seconds
yeah.
until you get Scepter, which is 2 seconds. Anyway, freaking IO. This is ridiculous, by the way. Like, what? How is this even? How is this a thing? I'm not complaining, but other people are gonna complain. Base movement speed reduced by 10. Hello? He tethers to someone. He gets the same move speed as them. Why does that matter?
And then
He's-
odds are he's still gonna like. There's a lot of heroes that get there's a lot not heroes, players that get dominated on IO.
Yeah,
Like
it doesn't
so that
matter.
it still doesn't affect him because he's always tethered to something that
It
has
doesn't
more
matter,
movement
dude.
speed.
You still don't buy boots. Like, who cares? This is only affects bad IO players or bad IO teammates that randomly break tether. Which I played with Alina today. It was freaking awful. You kept breaking the tether because she was pussying out, right? So like my thought was like, we're going in, we're gonna kill them. But she was like rank 1000 or something, and she doesn't trust the IO, so she's like backing away while I'm running in, and then she just breaks tether and I die. It's a PL. It happened like 3 times in a row. We still win though. But that's what it affects. If you're coordinated with your ally, this doesn't change shit because the tether is not gonna break. I don't know. And then they nerfed the level 15 talent.
But
From
with
90
the level
to
15
75.
talent, did you go for the tether? I mean, I guess that's situational, right? I mean, if some of your
What?
heroes have shit eggs, you're not gonna go for eggs. But most of the time, since you're obviously you're a good IO player, if not one of the best in NA, if not the best, would you go for eggs? Like, what percentage of times would you go for eggs? I get that it's a situational thing,
I would go
right?
for Ags if it's any like carry with a game-changing Ags or a Night Stalker. Otherwise,
The
I would.
odds are most of the time you're gonna pick that's how you're gonna draft your lineup. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
this dude's picking IO. Well, I'm gonna pick a hero that works well with IO.
But the damage talent was absolutely broken because you can literally solo kill enemy cores that don't have BKBs. For example, that one game I was talking about to you before, where my whole team, all 3 of my cores, died without buyback for 100 seconds, and because I had an AA, and I went for the other talent, the AA had its own Ags, so he was already buying Ags. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going for the other talent so I can do damage. So we defended the base against a Slark and like some other shit by just with my level 15 talent and him ulting them because like they had to leave, otherwise they were gonna die, and we actually like killed 2 people. So that was ridiculous. So they nerfed this. So keep in mind they nerfed this by like 15,
15, yeah. How many
but
spirits
like
total do you
there's
have?
5. There's 5. So that's 15 times 5.
So, I have 50, 75 damage total.
What?
My NA math right? 15 times, yeah.
Yeah. 75.
75 damage total.
Which
So that
is-
doesn't even do anything. What you said? 1900 was the total damage.
Yeah.
No, there's 10. There's 10 spirits.
There's 10 spirits because what I counted 10 because you could hit them with 5 and then you can resummon right away and hit them with another 5 if you time it right, if you're good. Because
Okay,
you
so
summon it
total
way
that-
before the fight. So total it's just 5 if you just summon and hit right away if you're bad.
Yeah.
But if you have the spirits already summoned before the fight starts, you hit them with
So basically we're
5
saying-
and your cooldown's up again. You can hit them with another 5, so it's 10.
So total 150.
Yeah. Which is whatever. It's not even that much, so it's
Yeah, I
still
was gonna say, it's
viable.
still
It was
pretty
just
strong.
it was just too much. Like it was just ridiculous. So I don't know how that. Like I feel like they should have rechanged the talents around. Like everything. Like they should have just changed the talent. Like, it shouldn't even be a talent. I don't think. But I don't know. I guess
So
they just
20.
didn't have time. So his level 20 talent. So what they did was they swapped the attack tether ally target talent to level 25. So what this also did is you can't have 30-second relocate cooldown and this anymore, which is what was actually broken. Because you literally can relocate every 30 seconds, and the relocate lasts for 12 seconds. So there's a 16-second downtime before you can relocate again. So you literally can just relocate everywhere, constantly just chip away at their base. And then with the other talent as well. And you can't do that
Yeah,
anymore.
no, that's actually a really huge nerf, dude.
Well,
Because I
it's
feel like you have to go for attack tethered allies target, right?
well, it's only a huge nerf to the late game, but half my IO games don't even freaking get there unless I
Get to late game.
intentionally throw,
Yeah,
dude.
right, right, right. but but still, like late game, that is a huge nerf. Like I'm not saying anything about early game. I still IO is still definitely one of the strongest support heroes. 2-1-2. If there's any hero that position 4 that I want in my off lane, or if I'm playing that off lane, it's gonna be Bane or IO, man.
Like
But late game,
late game,
that's like
that affects it. Like it affects your ratting ability, but like you can still do it, right? The cooldown is just 90 seconds instead, which is a lot more, right?
But I think you have to go for the attack tethered allies target. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, there are some games maybe when you wouldn't pick that and you'd go for the cooldown, but odds are again, if you're picking IO, you're gonna pick a hero that is gonna get attack speed items that lets you attack as well.
But honestly, 20 health regen at level 20 isn't bad either. I mean, it's honestly kind of shitty because I think you might just rather have gold per minute to buy like a satanic. I think that would give you more value than 20 health regen. Because 50 was decent.
Yeah, I was gonna say you go for it. I think again, I don't play IO as well as you, but or as much. But I think you still go for gold per minute. Because you're still getting health regen items on IO, right? Satanic.
Yeah, because you're getting
You're gonna
health
have a
regen
spirit
items
vessel
on
or
IO.
something.
20 isn't that much. It's literally 20 is what you get from your freaking pipe and helmet of Dom combined, almost.
How much does salve give you?
What? The salve? Heals you
Salve
50.
gives you 50 regen. So like I would just carry a salve around. Again, I get it. By the time you're level 20, you don't need a salve. But if you don't need a salve, odds are you don't need the 20 health.
I mean, that talent's kind of shitty. I don't get 20 health regen. The 50 was like kind of shitty too. I only went it like in certain games. I went for the relocate thing because I just realized it was broken. You relocate every freaking 16 seconds somewhere else.
You'd rather have that than you think about how many times you could save a teammate
Yeah.
or bring in a teammate.
Or you can
to
just
go,
randomly move people to another part of the fight, like blink dagger.
Yeah, or you could just split push. You could literally you have one lane secured every time, no matter what.
Yeah, and you could also just relocate, cut their wave every freaking 16 seconds. You can literally cut every wave. It hasn't gone to that point, but like, because like it's pretty rare that you get to level 25.
Here's the thing though, they moved. Was level 15 always Tether Grant Scepter bonus, or was it 20? It was level 15.
It was
right?
always 15. It was
Oh,
always
never
15.
mind.
I don't know. This is not a nerf. Like I don't care. Like this is level 20, 25. Like I literally get to 20 or 25 in like 1 out of every 10 games. So this is not gonna affect shit. So I don't know about them here. I get to level 15 in like half my games. The game ends before I get to level 15. So like that's just saying something. So I don't know what they're thinking here. IO is still OP. You watch my video. Why IO is OP in 7.15? He's still OP in 7.16. They didn't do shit.
All right, we get it. We can move on. We can move on.
Kunkka, Kunkka, level 25 talent. Level 25. That's what they're gonna change about Kunkka. Plus 15% cleave to
I was gonna say I would have
cooldown.
changed. His laning stage is too strong, man. I don't care about late game Kunkka. I mean, I care about late game Kunkka, but I don't think.
So they nerf
If anything,
his
that's-
they nerf
it's
his
just
one
a
shot.
nerf.
That's it.
Is this a nerf?
No, they
Well-
nerf his one shot, dude.
But they changed it. It's not a nerf. Because I
What?
feel like you're not gonna go Ghost Ship Fleet. You're gonna go the cooldown, and now Kunkka can split push even easier. Like I feel like how long is Tidebringer cooldown? That's what I need to look at to know this better. Tidebringer cooldown at level 4 is 4 seconds. So now it's 2.5. So
Step
if you go
lively
right
now.
click
Your
Kunkka
admiral
build,
is on
would you
board.
rather have, let's do the math. So you hit your Tidebringer twice as fast.
I mean, I already
So
said
you
that.
get
It's
two
so you don't one
times.
shot, but you can do more reliable damage, right?
Yeah, and odds are like what if you don't crit your first time? Then you could just crit the second time.
It's more reliable. It's not less
Yeah.
one shotty. It's whatever. It's Kunkka. It's basically the same hero. When you change 25 talent, it literally doesn't do shit. It's like Io.
Yeah, you're gonna win or lose
Like
by
it's
the time
gonna,
most games.
it's going to affect you in like a random scenario, like a crazy scenario that's gonna happen like one every 100 game.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't do shit.
Leshrek's base intelligence was reduced by 2.
They nerfed the cast range at level 1 too. Yeah, Lesh is kind of shit now. He's a lot weaker
I
in
gotta
the
pull
early
up. I
game.
lost it. GG.
He's a lot
Here we go,
weaker in the
Lich.
early game. He has less mana to use, and the cast range is worse, so you can't like chase people down as well with it. Because like the cast range was too long. Because they nerfed the
Yeah, I mean you could hit him from far away and then just land your
yeah,
stun, but now
and
you have to be close enough.
they nerfed or they
You have to get
buffed
used
the
to it.
what is it called? Cast animation too or whatever. Cast point. Now it's so whatever. You still max the lightning first, so it doesn't change too much. And you still buy mana regen items, so I think it's okay.
Yeah, they're double
He's
nulls
just
or
he's just
something
a
like that.
lot weaker at level 1, which is a lot of reasons why he was picked. So if you're going to lightning storm level 1, chain frost damage increased, scepter increased as well, only slightly.
I don't think it's enough to. The whole point of Lich is not chain frost. It was he was so strong early games because he could just sap the XP from the range creep, and they nerfed that and that ruined the hero.
It's still viable in
unless-
certain games. It's just he
I'm not
doesn't
saying you
have
can't win
any.
Flash,
He
but-
doesn't have any catch. I've been winning with some games with him, and then other games it's just miserable. Because it's like, if you don't win the lane with him, he just feels useless.
Yeah.
Absolutely useless.
Um.
Anyway, Lycan intelligence
maybe-
gain reduced. I mean, the chain frost thing. If you do get an amazing chain frost off, like this, will add up.
It'll add up, but odds of you getting an amazing chain frost are slim to none. In some games, you have like really good team synergy lineup. Okay, then yeah, you're a godly Lich. But either way, if you get a godly chain frost in those games, the damage still did enough as to where it's at. So I don't know.
All right.
But with Lycan, the intelligence reduced. Did Lycan need the nerf? I feel like I don't know. Have not seen pubs play Lycan. Have not
I
seen.
mean, he's the
meta-
highest win rate hero in pubs, and he is one of the top carry picks.
Okay, so there you go. I'm wrong again. But it's one of those things, man. I feel like in pubs he's a high.
Shapeshift critical strike reduced as well. So slightly lowers his DPS. I mean, the intelligence gain doesn't matter too much. He buys Necrobook anyway, and that gives him.
I was gonna
mana
say
regen.
that gives him like 30
Maybe
hits
he
or
has to
something
buy
like
a
that.
clarity now. That's it. That doesn't really do much. Like they didn't
Early
nerf.
game he might have.
Like for example, if like they nerfed his laning stage, that might make him dumpster tier. But like this doesn't do anything because he doesn't use his mana in the laning stage anyway. Because he just saves his wolves up, or he just levels like he just saves
he
his
levels
levels
his
up
2. He
Until
feral
he-
impulse and then he.
until he gets level 4 wolves, and that's when he uses them. At that point, you pretty much already have a Necrobook or like a bunch of clarities.
Yeah, or something that gives you mana regen at the very least. Sage Mask, something. And then they just nerfed his early game a little with the critical strike. But I feel like at level, so his kill potential is a little less. I guess.
What
But I
one
feel
thing
like
it
his
might
split
do
push-
is you might buy treads now. You might buy treads because a lot of Lycans just skipping treads, but you might buy treads just so you can tread swap. So
Okay.
that's it.
So you're behind maybe a minute or two in farm, with
Yeah.
like Necrobook timings.
Yeah, pretty
Or
much.
you get I feel like you can still go Necrobook and then get treads, but I feel like it's too late by then to get treads at that point.
No, some people do
So-
that. Some people do that.
I don't know.
No, some people do buy Necrobook and then go back into treads.
Okay.
But
So you
it's,
could do that,
It's
I guess.
whatever. That didn't do much of a nerf. Magnus, they just make
Magnus?
empowered match battle free, the same thing they did with Sven. Can't comment on that, but it's just for like uniformity reasons, I guess. Because like it was weird how like
That's
Battle
like a pretty
Fury.
big buff though. Like that's a big to the cleave distance. That's 50% extra cleave
Yeah,
distance.
because you literally give them a Battle Fury now, so it's a buff to
Yeah.
Magnus. It is a buff.
But so see, here's the thing though. I would put Magnus in like a dual lane. I feel like you get Jug safe lane +1, and then you get Magnus off lane +1.
I mean,
And
Mineski is
that is
gonna
something
abuse
that-
this for sure.
Yeah.
The one team that picks AM, they're gonna abuse this. Well, okay,
I don't know who
Meepo.
you'd get off lane though.
This hero's dumpster tier. Earthbind projectile speed increase slightly.
Now fully affects. What does that mean? Now fully affects. I should know this. I play
Before
Wayward. What
before
does that
it
mean?
doesn't reveal invis. It would only show you where they were, but you can't see them. Like you can't. You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't
Like
hit them.
yeah, you can hit
Now
them.
is it saying that you can hit them?
So like before, it would lock them down and they stay in the same spot, but you can't see them.
Okay,
Now you can see them.
but now you can see them, and now you can hit them.
Yeah.
That sucks. That sucks.
So it sucks for invis again.
It sucks versus like. I think he's still a shit hero,
All right. Speaking of invis,
but it
we
makes
got,
it easier. It makes it easier for Meepos, because I'll admit it's very hard. The consistency is pretty crappy because it's like you'll be invis and then get rooted and then you can't hit them, but then you'll get rooted, then you go invis and they can still hit you, and it helps with. I feel like that helps with consistency more. It is a buff, but I don't think it's a buff in the right direction as to what will make Meepo pickable.
I mean, I still think he's super bad. He just feats. Like, it doesn't matter how far ahead he gets. He just feats. I mean, some teams have played
Well,
him
yeah.
actually. It was Mineski, I think, that picked Meepo, and I lost. I think he won one game. They lost another one. Whatever.
Is
Yeah,
Abed on
experiment.
Mineski now? No, right?
No, they
Abed's on another team.
they have Jabs play it, and of course, because Mushi can't micro, so Mushi plays support. All right, Marana leap attack speed increased.
Mushi's still around, lol.
This hero is kind of trash tier. So I played against
I don't think
it.
this helps.
This is
I don't think
Yeah,
the 20
he-
hit.
she doesn't attack for any damage. So it's like you're attacking like a kitten, or you're attacking a little bit faster. Wow, I was so scared.
I mean,
Moonlight
you
Shadow
still get Maelstrom
iteration.
on.
Yeah, if you get like Maelstrom,
this
this would be pretty legit because it will increase your attack speed, and then Maelstrom gives you damage now. So
Yeah.
Moonlight Shadow duration increased like for 3 seconds.
That's pretty big. That's pretty big.
It's 3 extra seconds, so you can have the hunt. So
So it's like, how long is the smoke duration? 40 is it? Or 30, 25? Why don't I know
Yeah.
these things? Items. Smoke.
30 seconds, dude. Right?
35
seconds.
So, I mean, it's like, because 15's enough for escaping all the time. They're either gonna kill you.
But,
after,
I mean,
if you can't
honestly,
escape after 15
you
minutes
tell
of
me
Moonlight
this.
Shadow.
That Marana was on the cusp of being a good hero, and these changes are gonna put her over. No, it just made her less
No.
trash.
Yeah.
So
But I think that's what their aim is, though, and they're really. I feel like they're close to it at least to switch.
I mean, Wukong's command. Like, look at Monkey King. Wukong's command. Wow. 4 extra armor, which actually is not bad.
That's not bad. Actually. Level 1, because I feel like there's no point to use Wukong.
Well, every time I get a Monkey King in my game, he free farms, he gets Battle Fury, he farms the jungle, he has all the items he needs, and then he just gets shat on. Because I have a Luna that farmed faster than him, that does more than him in a team fight, and I have an Io on my team that gave Luna a free axe, so as soon as Monkey King's BKB runs out, he just insta-dies to freaking orbital cannon from space.
Hero's still bad. Hero's still
That's literally every time. Literally every time. Enemy picks Monkey King, and then on my team I have a Luna, and I don't think I've lost a single game. Because Monkey King buys Battle Fury, he farms. Luna's like, I don't care, I farm faster without buying a Battle Fury. So that she's able to just spend her money on real items. And then she has Butterfly, he doesn't have MKB, and he's shit. And okay, so this is a big nerf to Morphling. Morph now only dispels on initial cast rather than on all toggles. So before
Yeah,
it
so
was like it was
slowed. You can just do that.
it
Yeah.
was stupid because you just keep going back and forth. Like Spirit Vessel, you can just keep getting rid of it. Now it only dispels when you initially change into them, and that's it.
That's a pretty big nerf.
Yeah, that means Spirit Vessel is like viable to get against him now. Because you
Necrophos attack point improved from 0.53 to 0.4. Base damage increased by 2. And his Death Pulse mana regen per stack went up by 0.25 per each level.
please don't pick Necrophos. He's
I
just
mean,
too
I said-
countered, man. Like, this only hero is only good if like you're literally playing against people who have no idea what they're doing. I
Yeah.
think that's the only time I've lost to Necrophos, where like they pick Necrophos and then you literally just have people who are like trolling or something. Otherwise, it's just a free
I don't
win.
think we're gonna see a comeback with Necrophos for a while.
It's just a free win because you
It's
literally
interesting to look at him.
build Spirit Vessel and he gets countered.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at him though, because last year at this time being, this dude was a monster. Like everyone picked him
Yeah,
every
yeah.
game regardless. So
But that's because they introduced Spirit Vessel. Like remember, there wasn't Spirit Vessel back then. You can't just straight up counter him.
I mean, he also had pretty broken stats.
Yeah, and then the numbers are just better too.
Yeah.
All right, so Night Stalker finally. Wow.
You can read it.
Wow, dude. Wait, are you kidding me? Are you for real?
One
So-
second, you're cutting out.
Alright. Void no longer applies mini stun, but that's whatever, right? That kind of sucks. You can't cancel TPs. So you literally can just TP out during day. And you don't even have to wait for Void. But Darkness no longer sets enemy vision to fixed amount. And it just reduces it by 25%. Wait, you're still here? Hello?
Can you hear me now or no?
Yeah. I can hear you. Hello?
Testing. Testing.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah. Had a little space out there. I heard everything that you said. You just couldn't hear me.
Alright.
So with the fixed amount.
Yeah, before it set it to like, I think it was like 600 or something. So it set your night vision to 600 to your wards, and I think it even set it lower for heroes. I don't know the exact numbers. I forgot. But now it just reduces it by 25%, and it doesn't affect buildings, just wards. So like
How much
now,
is ward vision?
ward vision is like 1600 or 1800.
Yeah, that's awful. That is so bad.
1600. Before it reduced it to 800. Your wards were half as effective. It was like 800 or 700 or something like that. Your wards were literally half as effective.
And now it's 1200. So like, yeah, no, that's really bad. And I don't know, man. That void no longer applies to mini stun during the day.
Yeah, it's
That was
gonna.
the only thing that was making him any good at ganking any hero in the first 4 minutes of the game.
You can't like use it to interrupt their last hitting anymore. Because before you can do that. Because like they're about to CS, you just void them and then you deny.
Yeah.
That was a big thing about his laning stage actually. I don't know. Do you think this is the idea with IO? They just nerf heroes that go well with him? Because that's not the idea. Because you'll just find another hero. It doesn't matter that Night Stalker IO nerf, Night Stalker or Doom IO nerf. Who cares? You go Ogre Mad Guy IO and you'll still destroy them. By the way, they buffed Ogre here.
I was gonna say Ogre looks really good. I'll let you read it, but it looks really good.
60% multicast 2 times at all levels. 30% for 3 times. 15% at 4 times. And 90 gold per minute talent. Instead of the cast range, which you don't care too much about. Actually, the cast range is pretty legit, but I think you take 90 gold per minute now because he scales so well with items. I mean, that's more reliable multicast. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's about it for him.
Yeah, no, that's definitely.
I think Ogre's in the meta now for sure.
Yeah, I get it. Because I mean, people weren't picking him
No,
before.
people only were
all
picking
these other
him
supports
because
were good.
SF was meta and other supports were good.
Yeah.
And he sucks against SF because you try to gank SF, you're just gonna get triple raised because you're super fucking slow. And your only thing is you're slow, but you're tanky.
But not
like,
magical damage.
But not
tanky.
to magical damage tanky. And especially stacking raises magical damage tanky. So like the SF Quap Puck pack, like Ogre just sucks. But now he's actually good. Pretty sure. As a dual lane.
Shit.
Anyway.
I just say dual lanes too, because he's one of the type of heroes that you don't need 3 people.
Yeah, you
in
just
one
put
lane.
2, and that's it. You're like a Undying. So 5. You can put him as 5. You just Undying 5 tanky guy, and you just stand there and make space. Take some harass.
You're useful late game because of bloodlust. So
Yeah. Alright, what Pangolier did they do to him? Level 15 talent changed from 30 attack speed to 2-second rolling thunder duration. Because no one went.
they switched his talents around. So I'm gonna go pull him up right now.
No, they didn't switch it
That's
around.
what it looks like it, right?
They didn't. It's the same.
Natures,
Just
Elemental
no one went for that talent. They always went for the shield
Alright,
crash
Pangolier.
cooldown.
I can't see the changes to the talent tree.
Because the attack speed is useless. And then the 30 swashbuckle damage to 40. That's just a buff. And then 25 talent is negative 16 rolling thunder cooldown to negative 35. Which what does that make it to? Because it's 70.
Yeah, the 70, so minus 35.
Look closely.
And it
Something
lasts-
special is
35.
about to happen.
It lasts for 8. So it's pretty good.
That is a 27 cooldown. 27-second cooldown.
That's pretty good. They only buff his talents though. And they changed this one. So you can, if you want extra duration, you can have it. Or you can have the crash cooldown and ball. So you can do more damage. So you want it to last longer, or you want to do more damage. That's pretty much it. And I'm not a Pangolier player, but it's just overall buff to him, which he isn't that bad. Like Virtus Pro is picking him some game. I mean, it makes him a better offlaner. I feel like he was kind of bad in some scenarios, but this makes him more viable. Like it might make him top tier, honestly. Actually, no. I mean, he's still. I think he's still in the same position he was. It's just slightly better when he gets his talents. And then he also has some extra choices. That's pretty much it. Phantom Assassin, Blur only triggers on real heroes. Blur now only triggers on always triggers on invisible and spell immune enemies.
What does that mean?
You can like see her on the map.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about the evasion here.
So like before, if
So-
you were an illusion, it would trigger it and you can see her on the map. But
Okay.
if you're
Blur
Beat-
now only triggers on real heroes.
pretty sure, I don't even know how this works.
Is that a plank? Does that? What does that mean? Now only triggers on real heroes.
It means that you can see her on the map. That is it.
So you can see her illusions.
No, see her. Like her image on the map. Understand?
Okay. I have to test it because I still don't like. I know that you're explaining it the best.
Like,
you
you
can,
know-
I'm still not gonna.
So when you're not close to a PA,
Yeah.
she's alone.
She
You
doesn't
cannot-
show up on map. I know
She
that.
doesn't show up on the mini map.
Yeah.
So now, in addition, she also has a buff called Blur.
Yeah.
And when there's a hero near her, it will disappear. So she
Blur
knows
goes away.
someone's
Oh.
near her, even if they're like hidden.
Oh, okay. Huh. Dude,
But-
you learn something new every day. I didn't know that. I actually didn't. I didn't think. I knew that she had that buff, but I never thought about using it strategically. Like in the sense of, oh, I can just look at my blur and see the second it goes off, like Slark's shadow damage.
Yeah, so this makes it better. So like if there's like a Ricky on you or something, you'll see it now.
Yeah.
Now, this spell
Huh.
immune is whatever, but yeah, the visible thing is big.
I don't think it's that big of a buff, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's nice.
it's okay. Phantom Lancer, this is a big nerf. He can't doppelganger while rooted.
Makes Meepo stronger. Makes any hero with root. Doom can get root now, and use that against
I mean,
PL. But I'm pretty sure Doom is.
I'm thinking of just like Tree Ant. Tree Ant can just fuck PL.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because now you can land Meteor Hammer too, like root into Meteor Hammer.
Yeah.
Because you could just doppelganger out the Meteor Hammer.
Okay. Just straight up. I mean, that's gonna decrease his survivability against certain heroes by a lot. I mean, not gonna affect him every game, of course, but
But those games now you have something because I feel like PL's easily countered from the core perspective in terms of itemization and also heroes that you can pick. But with Phoenix, or why am I saying Phoenix? I'm looking at the other next one. But like with supports, it's really hard for you to, I don't know, counter him. Even offlaners.
yeah, I it's okay.
At
I
least
like
for
it.
me, maybe my hero pulls. But so I think that's a good nerf to PL because I feel like he's getting picked way too much, and there's not much that you can do to handle.
Yeah, I feel like there's too many games in pubs where like this is a good PL game.
Oh yeah.
Well, anyway, Phoenix, they are gonna buff the Fire Spirit's damage, which is actually significant because like Phoenix is like super weak early on, and any like early game buff to this, and they even gonna buff it like level 4 as well. So straight up buff to Phoenix. So there's one Phoenix spammer right now. I forgot his name. It's not PPD's brother, but he's been owning with Phoenix, so he's gonna like this. I think
know who
Phoenix
you're
is a
talking
good hero. I don't even think Phoenix is bad. So
Fire spirits. It's damage per second too, so that's
yeah.
that's
this is
4
actually
seconds.
this
So
this might
40
just make Phoenix OP. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. I think
gives
Phoenix
him
is.
40 extra damage
I think Phoenix is
at
like,
level
really
1.
good already. They just give him more
So
damage.
20. So he does a total of 80 now on the burn damage.
Yeah, but he gets four, right?
The burn duration's 4, and at level 1 it's 20. So at level 4 he does a total of 360. Before he did 320.
Okay, damage per second 20. It lasts for 4 seconds, so it does 80, right? So that's 80 damage, but you get 4 of them. So 80 times
I feel like
4
Phoenix is all 4 of them. So
if you hit them.
40, so 160.
Yeah,
If you hit them.
which is a lot for level 1
Yeah,
spell.
no, it is. It's 160 for level 1. Do you play him as offlane though, or as position 4? Because I
What?
feel like he's not a good offlane. So you have to play him position
I
4.
think you just play him as support and you just dueling it.
So 2-1-2.
Yeah.
I feel like Phoenix is too squishy though. I don't know. Even with his Icarus dive, it's easily counterable. His ultimate too.
I don't know. I feel like this is imbalanced. We'll see. We'll see.
But I feel like he will definitely be picked up more maybe in pro meta, especially with how 2-1-2s are going.
And then he has a talent that increases the DPS as well by 60
What level?
at level 15.
15?
Alright. Yeah, Phoenix is strong. I'm already calling it here. Alright, what do they do to Pudge? They nerf Pudge again. Increase the cooldown of Meat Hook at earlier levels. Meat Hook damage.
Dude, they just wanted to sell the
whoa.
Arcana, man.
Well, no, they increased the damage though. I think that's okay.
Holy cow, dude, 150 pure damage too?
150 pure
Holy
damage at level 1.
Jeez.
Okay, that's actually a buff. As long as you hit your hook.
No, that is a buff. That's not a no. That's definitely because you don't even use meat hook every 14 seconds level 1.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm sure that they had to do that nerf because if it was 14 seconds, then people would just level hook level 1, and then you would just get 2 hooks.
And you just
he's
hook.
dead.
Alright.
But yeah, no, that's a buff.
Oh, that
I think you still
sucks
level
getting
it the
hooked.
same though.
If you get
Rock hook.
if you get hooked by Pudge now, you're like kind of just dead early on. It does a lot of
Yeah,
damage.
so you go rot hook rot, and then go from there.
Yeah. 220 at level 2. Wow. I mean, it makes hook early on scarier. A lot scarier. It just doesn't only put you out of position, it does a ton of damage. Alright. Let's move it on here. Let's get over the minor changes. Nether ward damage per mana increased. It
I
just makes
still think that makes him.
it just makes Nether ward stronger.
It makes him stronger against OD, and
It
like
makes
those
him
heroes.
stronger against
I-
heroes he already counters.
Yeah,
Wow.
but besides that, I think that he is still a situational pick, and
I mean,
he's still going to be. He just might be picked up more now than less, versus heroes like OD.
OD Lesh, stuff like that. I mean, this pug. OD Lesh Tinker.
Queen of Pain has a pretty.
Queen of Pain talent
Minimal
improves spell
change.
block to 15 seconds. That talent
I
people
think you
didn't
still
go.
go for fear. You,
Yeah.
you still have to go for fear. Like
Most
it's
people-
just too. It's too good.
Unless literally getting this and Lincoln just makes you unkillable. Right? Because they only they only have single target stuff, so you're just unkillable with this.
So it's situational, but I feel like fear is really good.
But fear is still OP.
Like
so
1.5s. That's good. Ricky is
Okay.
strong.
Base HP regen to 3. Blink Strike can cast on spell immune enemies, which is okay, whatever. Tricks of the trait cooldown increased.
That's not a biggie. Too big.
It's a little bit of a nerf, but
It makes it harder for him to escape. That's about it.
I mean, I think they did it.
Yeah, it just made it harder for him to escape. Oh, jeez. That cloak and dagger fade delay though is so bad.
7.5.
Jeez. Like level 1 he can't show cuz
Do you want him to be a carrier or something? Like, what's going on? Because you're just gonna die. It's 7 seconds and you're just gonna die. You tell me that you can't kill a Ricky in 7.5 seconds.
you can, you definitely can.
Exactly. Like, what is this? I don't know. I don't know what they do. They give him more HP regen though, so if he doesn't die, you can regen it up.
Yeah, that regen's a lot.
I don't know. He's still trash. It's 2-1-2. Like, you can't pick a Ricky. Like, what is it going? What are you doing? Like, in a pub, sure. But like in any real game, people know what they're doing. Like, you're just gonna put a sentry. No, keep in mind, sentries are buffed. Last for 6 minutes. You're just fucked. Anyway, Sand King Caustic Finale slow reduced from 30% to 21. It scales now. Okay,
Makes him less
The level
strong.
one. The level 1 Caustic is worse. And that's pretty much it. Sand King is like top tier, so that makes sense. What did it do to Shadow Fiend? Talent changed from 20% evasion to 2 damage per soul. So they moved the damage per soul talent to level 20, and then they made
Yeah, I'm looking
the
at
other
it's worth it.
talent to -5 presence aura. So it's -11 armor.
I don't think you get that.
I mean, it'll make
I think
his
you
like
go for cooldown reduction. You have to still.
it'll make right click Shadow Fiend scale faster.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. At level 25 though, do you go for cooldown reduction or presence armor? Because I feel like that -5 extra armor is not. I'd rather have cooldown reduction.
But for what though? What if you're just right click? You don't care? Why do you care?
Yeah,
for that?
BKB. BKB, your ult is still pretty good. Shadow Blade. If you get Refresher's Orb, Hex, like there are a lot of items on. I mean, maybe situationally you might not need it, but I still feel that it's still really good. So I don't know.
-5 armor. Okay, let's look at the value of that in an item. That is literally.
Blightstone's what? 2 armor?
No, that's 2 armor. So Deso
So
is 6, right? 6. So
how much is Dezo? Dezo gives you damage though. Dezo's
Deso also
6
gives you
armor.
50 damage, and it's 6 armor. So it's
Yeah.
only the minus armor component, of not even a Deso. I don't know.
Let's look at a medallion. Okay, medallion. It's probably the cheapest item that's closest to it. It's 7 armor. 7 armor and 0.5 mana regen. Like you can remove 7 armor from the enemy.
Yeah, I don't know. It does feel good. It doesn't feel good. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think that you still go for cooldown reduction.
Alright, Silencer, last word, cooldown reduced. It's pretty big. This spell is like underrated. How much did it reduce it?
But it's
10
only 2 seconds.
2 seconds?
But it's only
But like it matters. Like
if
it's
he
like
snowballs, I feel like it's
super
really.
long cooldown. 30 seconds.
Uh,
If you continuously fight, like I like go for the build where you max this out too. In some games, when I went for silencer, you
so
max the last word. This is gonna be 10 seconds of last word. You can spam that in a fight. That's gonna be
I
annoying.
mean, you can constantly have last word on someone.
Yeah.
That's that at level 4, because the cast time is 4 seconds and then the duration is 6 seconds. So you can constantly have someone have last word. Odds are you're not going to, but it's something interesting to think about.
Arcane curse damage also increased. All right.
14
I don't
to
think
16.
I don't think silencer was even that bad. It's just some quality buffs to him. It does more damage. Can cast last word more often. And if you max it, yeah, it's not bad. Like level 1 doesn't do much, but like you get it to 12 to 10, and it actually is significant.
I feel like he's a
Slaughter.
hero that dies fairly easy and
I mean, it's
was
silencer.
countered too well by BKB.
He gets countered really hard, but they also buffed him recently with gold per minute talent, so you can get refresher easier. But other way, still not the best hero.
Moa will be happy to see this.
Every time he's in my game, he picks Silencer, I pick Chen, and he just gets completely wrecked.
Yeah, I
It's
mean
hilarious.
he's too weak. Like Silencer's too weak. He's a. Here's my opinion on him, right? If you play in position 5, he dies too fast, like way too fast. He's got nothing to save him. You play in position 4, no matter how many items he gets, he still feels pretty useless after like 25-30 minutes. And then he doesn't scale well enough to go play like mid or something, like how Icefish or Moa plays him. So
Bash of the Deep damage increased. Wow. Slaughter.
that doesn't do much.
I mean, it doesn't do anything unless you're gonna carry Slaughter or late game Slaughter.
That's what I was gonna say. Because you're not gonna be landing hits anyway. You're gonna be stunning and running.
Yeah.
And ulting and stunning and force staffing and stunning.
Slark pounce damage reduced.
That also does nothing.
Who cares?
Actually,
it's 10 damage at level 1. And then later on, he doesn't rely on pounce damage.
I was gonna say, does he even scale pounds? Like, what's the scale build for
Yeah,
Slark?
you max it after. Well, it's
After Dark Path.
it's 1-1-1, and then
Because you don't need acid
4-1,
shift.
4-1-1, and then 4-4-1.
Hopefully, by the time you get pounds level 4, you have a Shadow Blade. So at that time, you don't even need pounds.
Yeah, it's night vision of sniper increased.
So does he counter Night Stalker then?
It's pretty sick. Well, he already had above average night vision, but now Night Stalker doesn't. So before, like what happened is like even if you had above average night vision, when you pop darkness, you still get shit vision. Everyone gets the same bad vision.
Yes.
But now if you have
now
good,
he's actually a counter.
now
instance, 'cause
now
if you're next to him,
yeah, now if you have good vision, at night vision, like
that counters
Slark.
Night Stalker.
Yeah, if you have good night vision, like Slark for example, Slark, he has 1800, right? Slark has the same night vision as day vision. So if you're a Slark, you just counter Night Stalker. Before, not necessarily. Like, you pop darkness, you still don't see. But now, like, it's just that was the most broken part about darkness.
It was that you could counter people who had really good night vision.
No, it was that you
Or
just
just in
pop
general,
you
taking
pop your
away
ultimate and then you just can't see anything. So then
Yeah.
you just have to play scared, or you just get jumped.
And
I
that was
know.
the biggest thing in pubs too, right? Is that
Yeah.
odds are you don't have wards, so you have even less vision. But now it.
No, even if you do
Really?
have wards, your wards just can't see anything. Alright, I'll just go over the rest of these real quick. Until I get to something interesting, I'll wait for you. Spirit Breaker, base HP regen increased. It's a solid buff to him. Spirit Breaker not being picked enough. Because of this reason. He's kind of low armor, really slow. Like clunky. I mean, he can have global ability, but that's not the meta right now. You don't want to just roam around everywhere. You kind of sit in a lane and secure it for one of your cores. So, yeah, Spirit Breaker doesn't fit there. But this makes him a little bit better at that. Talents, lower 20 talent increased. -5 Stormhammer cooldown to -6 seconds. Stormhammer stun duration 0.75 to 1.25. It's pretty sick talents, honestly, but looking at the other alternatives, they're still better for a carry Sven. So this is really only if you need more disables. And again, it's level 20, 25 talents, so it's not going to change too much about the hero. We're going to buff Tiny again because it was 2 nerfs. So tree grab, bonus damage increased to buildings. 90% at level 1 scaling. And the tree throw splash damage has been increased, just slightly buffing the damage of tree grab to buildings and the throw, because they kind of just over nerf tree grab to the point where Tiny is like never picked. It's just way stronger laners, and what he provided before was just guaranteed 1 lane with his tree. It's not really guaranteed anymore. It's just now it's just a low, no armor, strength hero with a mediocre buff up ability to last it with a relatively long cooldown. Treant living armor regen increased level 2, 3, and 4, same at level 1. This is pretty sick if you do it for the max living armor build, which you do in some games. You max it first, like this could matter a lot, but if it's later on, I don't see it make much of a difference. Ice shards on tusks, the cooldown is increased again, or not again? Is it again? No, the duration. Oh yeah, cooldown increased again. But it's really strong ability. Now it's even weaker. Not a main Tusk player. I play Tusk from time to time. But, oh, this made Undying real good. 80 mana cost for Soul Rip. So before this 100 mana cost kind of hurt you. Because you have a, for example, you have a 70 mana cost for this spell to spam. And then you have 100. And you'll run out of mana. That was the reason why Undying cannot continue to play aggressive. Because you run out of mana. With this 80 mana cost, level 1, is going to be sick. You're going to be able to have that 1 extra cast, which might result in a kill. You know. Overall, these changes, like I like this tree change. I like to see more tree and Undying. They're my heroes. Screw
Not
Tusk.
only that, by the way, but you have to remember that since he's so reliant on mangoes, Soul Rip mana cost gives him like, with the mango, it gives him 2 extra Soul Rips in lane.
This is like,
Because he gets 1 extra Soul Rip total mana without any clarities or mangoes, because I think he can use it like 5 times now instead of 4, something like that. I have to pull it up. But yeah, so that's pretty strong. He has 400 mana, level 1, without anything. So now he can use it 5 times instead of 4. Plus a mango, he can use it now 6 times instead of 4. Plus 2 mangoes, he can use it 7 times instead of 4.
what do they do to Ursa? Earth Shock cooldown, Fury swipes reset time, plus 25-second Fury swipe. Why would you get that?
For the reset time?
Yeah. So if
Long
like you
fights.
hit, doesn't make. What? What do you mean long fights with an Ursa, dude? What is a long fight with Ursa? You hit a support at the start of the fight, and then you go on someone else. Oh, they still have Fury swipes on them for 1 accidental hit I hit on them.
What's the duration on Fury swipes in general?
What? It's like 10.
I'll have you in
Hold
my
on.
claws.
20 seconds? 20 seconds. So now it's 45 seconds.
I mean, I'd still go agility any day, but
I don't get it. 20 talent from 25.
I'm pretty sure I'd still take
sometimes
8 strength over over 25-second Fury swipe.
to 12 Fury swipes damage. I don't think you even go for that. I'm pretty sure the Ursa build was Mana Regen, Agi, and Rage. And then AoE.
Makes sense.
I'm pretty sure that was the build. Maybe sometimes status resistance. But I haven't seen Ursa get to level 25 yet, because usually he gets to that point, the game's already lost for him.
Yeah, like level. Unless she's like super far ahead, right?
Yeah. talent changed from 14 swipe damage to resistance. Oh, that's new. So that wasn't even there before. Yeah, so it definitely was AoE Earthshock before. I didn't even know his level under level 25. I thought that was new. I was like, I didn't remember that. Anyway, Vengeful Spirit magic missile cooldown reduced to 10 seconds. Wave of Terror mana cost reduced 25, which is pretty big because she has like no mana pool. 230. I mean, it makes Vengeance support a little bit more viable. You can spam the stun, but it's still a shitty stun. 1.2 second duration. 100 damage. Makes her mana more manageable. Again, just makes her overall a little bit better in lane compared to like these more OP heroes like Bane and stuff like that.
I was gonna say you could like VS Dro. Maybe.
Alright, what did it do to Weaver, dude? Sakuchi damage increased by 5 at level 1. Broken hero. Then 10. Then 15, and then 20. 20
It might help
more.
out a little. It helps out a little.
When you're
Farming
like farming, yeah.
Yeah.
When you max it out. Splinter
Shit.
or like early on too to get guarantee ACS. Cause your animation is shit. Splinter Blast slow increase 25% to 30%. Splinter Blast mana cost reduced to 90. It's gonna be annoying. He can actually spam this, or she. He has a huge mana pool, 400 mana pool. You just spam this, and it's 30% slow. It doesn't cost much mana now. You're gonna get super cancel. Because you know what the problem with Winter Wyvern was? Her freaking spell was like on like a 30-second cooldown, or 50-second cooldown. So then, when that's on cooldown, she's useless. But now she can spam this ability.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, whoa, Wraith King, what did you do to Buddy here? Mortal Strike
Yeah, I
no
was gonna
longer
say.
has a chance to kill creeps. Mortal Strike now gains skeleton charge for every 2 enemy units you kill. Mortal Strike skeleton count rescaled to 2 at level 1, 4, 6, 8. Mortal Strike skeletons bounty reduced from 15/15 to 5/5. Experience and gold. And mana cost reduced 30 and then 75. This pretty much makes it so you can't jungle him. GG. GG. GG.
Really though, because you can summon Mortal Strike all the time now.
What are you talking about? You can't jungle him. Because you can't one-shot a creep anymore. You not read it? Hello?
Oh yeah. Never mind.
Maybe if you like start at the small camp and then get 2 skeletons and then you can farm the big camp with 2 skeletons. I don't think so. You definitely cannot, so you cannot jungle with him. It makes him better in lane because you guaranteed get the skeletons, so
Yeah.
then you can summon them and it doesn't cost you 75 mana, which actually matters when you're Wraith King. And they don't feed gold, so you can just summon them for some extra damage. Oh.
I still feel like it's weak though, because you're gonna push lanes if you summon Skeleton.
Yeah, you will. Rip Wraith King. Base damage for Zeus increased by 5 for his CS. His strength gain was reduced though. Arc lightning damage rescaled. Less damage early on, slightly. So they give him more damage, attack damage. They reduce his arc lightning damage for his CSing. His lightning bolt cast range has been increased, which is legit. Because you get Aether Lens and you get a cast range talent eventually. Lightning bolt damage has also been increased. It's okay.
It only increases the cast. Oh, the cast range is not bad actually, but the damage bolt isn't that much damage.
They increased the early levels, which is okay.
I can't tell, and I can't tell if Zeus is stronger against I was gonna say Weaver, but I don't want to correlate it to Weaver. But if he's stronger against squishier heroes or weaker now, because, well, I mean the strength gain doesn't affect. He is a lot stronger in lane.
He gets
Like, a
5
lot
damage.
stronger.
So he's actually pretty good damage now. He can deny stuff. with
Like
with
he could CS a lot easier in lane.
yeah
He can.
with an old talisman he can deny, and then you might even just
Arc lane
you might like lightning bolt them.
bond.
You might favor lightning bolt over just like spamming art lightning. So you save your mana and you save it for lightning bolt, and you get level 3.
I mean, don't you max lightning bolt over arc lightning?
Yeah, you max it anyway, but you don't. So before you would use a lot of your mana to CS because you couldn't do it with your attack. So now maybe you save. You try to do it with your attack. You don't just spam arc lightning randomly, and then you lightning bolt for harass.
And you don't have to walk up high ground. You don't have to walk up high ground for the lightning bolt.
Yeah.
The damage is not. I don't care about the damage because that's like 25 damage. You have to remember it's magical damage. So you take away like 20% of that. So like that's
Yeah, you don't care too much
4
about that.
or
But-
5. It's exactly 5. So 20 damage increase per each lightning bolt.
I don't know about this.
It makes him a
patch,
better laner. I think it
but
makes him a better mid laner
I think
in
Zeus
particular.
wasn't even that bad, but that's okay.
Or actually, would he be a better off laner then? No. Well, man.
This is solid. I mean, it's solid damage.
Would you put Zeus in the off lane or mid?
But
Damn it.
he's squishier though. They made him squishier with the strength gain. So
They made him
less
squishier, but
health.
that strength gain is not going to do anything level 1 and 2.
yeah,
0.3 strength gains is not going to do crap because you're surviving off of being away from fights. If you get caught out as a Zeus, right? Like, in a place you're not supposed to. That 0.3 is just does nothing. It literally, I can't remember a single instance. You're like, whoo! I lived as Zeus with 2 health. You either don't get caught out or you die. There's no in between.
this
Maybe in
freaking
3K pubs, man. But like Weaver or like Ricky, like if you give those heroes strength gain or like evasion, something like that, I'm like, wow, that's huge. Because I can think of how many times, or I wish if I had just survived for 2 more seconds, I would have lived the entire situation. But you don't get that with Zeus. His movement speed is shit. His escape is shit. His stun, his disable is shit.
All right, what is this patch, man? They didn't
They're
change
forcing
anything.
2-on-2. No, they did change stuff. What they did is they limited certain specific supports that they don't want people picking anymore in pro games. Like I don't think this changed much for pub. They're just trying to make the international as professional as possible.
They nerfed
They're
the
forcing
OP.
2-on-2.
They nerfed the OP heroes. Freaking IO is still broken as ever.
But yeah, I think I want to play Clinks. The 3 heroes I think that are going to be played in pro games now or in pubs more often are going to be Clinks for sure.
Yeah, Clinks.
IO I think is still going to be banned.
IO's gonna get banned.
Kind of Dro, man. I don't know. I'm feeling Dro. Like, I think with a 2-1-2, Dro is more because like the whole thing is that the offlaner would not benefit from having a Dro because you need like a. The problem is you need a perfect lineup. Like I need to think of heroes that go with Dro because you need a disable. Like you need at least one take a year. So I would go like Ogre, Dro, bottom, IO +1 like a Clinks top or Weaver or whatever the hell you want.
I think
And
Undying
then like a
is
tanky
really
mid
good.
like DK. Or Undying, yeah, that's fine too. But the problem with Undying is that he needs farm. IO just manages to get farm.
I
feel
think
like it. So I guess if you're a
Phoenix-
good Undying.
Phoenix is insanely good. I think Phoenix is broken, honestly. That's about it. They just nerf all the other. So like the heroes that didn't get changed, I think Clinks is definitely really good, situationally. Centaur, like Bristleback didn't get good. Brother Seeker didn't get good. Arcborn didn't get good. AM didn't get good, except for in the situations where AM is good. They nerfed Morphling, but it wasn't enough to make him awful. So they just rebound. Like they didn't want to over nerf any hero to the point where it's not pickable. Like, they didn't want to do that to Io, so they just made Io less cancerous. But that's about it. So even like Night Stalker, that was a big nerf. I think that was the biggest nerf, Night Stalker. But even then, like, still Night Stalker. Doom was like second biggest.
I think
nerf,
Night Stalker was the biggest nerf for sure.
It was
And
Doom,
second biggest nerf.
Second biggest nerf was Doom for sure.
Doom.
He does so much less damage. in the long run. Because like you're not considering you're not just infernal blading someone once. It's like twice, 3 times, 4 times, and you add that up, and you're just doing a lot less damage over time, and then they might just be able to sustain it, and whatever,
Yeah, with tangos or salve or whatever the case is.
instead of just die. That's pretty much it. That's the patch. So, thanks everyone for tuning in for the patch analysis. We're not as long as Purge, hopefully. I think actually this might be longer
It's
than
went
Purge.
pretty-
We actually went pretty long. It's 2 hours. But that's going to be it for the video. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys like the discussion of 7.16, make sure you leave a like down below. Hit subscribe. I do these patch analysis every week. Some are longer than others. I don't usually have a guest, but that's going to be it for today. Peace out, everyone, and see you later.